Okay, lesson 7.1, we're simplifying rational expressions. So here are your steps. Factor the numerator and denominator and divide out any common factors. Monomials, and then this is just a little note, monomials can be simplified with monomials, and binomials can be simplified with binomials that are exactly the same. So if we see these, I'll point those out to you. Monomials, remember, have one term, and binomials have two. So here is our first example. We want to simplify it completely and state the restrictions on the domain. So first, to simplify completely, we want to factor. Look at our numerator, x minus 3. We can't factor that any further. 7x minus 21. We can take out a GCF. So we have x minus 3 is staying the same over factoring out a 7. So we're left with x minus 3. Now, this is where we see the binomial x minus 3 in both the numerator and denominator. So those will cancel each other out, and we're left with 1 over 7. So this is our simplified answer. We also have to state restrictions on the variables. When I'm looking at restrictions on the variables, I want to look at my factored step, focusing in on our denominator. And I want to take any factor with a variable, in this case x minus 3, and we know our denominator can't equal 0. Then I solve that. So x can't equal 3. So part of our answer. So that would be our full answer. So next example. So first thing, factor, and then simplify, then find your restrictions. So looking at my numerator, factoring that, we can take out an x, we factor out an x, so we're left with x plus 2 over in our denominator, that factors to x plus 2 and x plus 1. So we see x plus 2 and x plus 2 are exactly the same. Nothing else will factor. So we're left with x over x plus 1. And then we look here for our domain restriction. So I'm going to take those factors individually and see where would they equal 0. So x can't equal negative 2. And x can't equal negative 1. Alright, continuing on. So, step 1, factor. Factoring out of 2x squared, leaving us with x plus 5 in our numerator. And then we can factor out of 3x in the denominator, leaving us with x plus 5. Okay, so now those x plus 5s will cancel, but we can also look here and apply our exponent properties. So we'll still have 2/3 x squared over x. If we subtract those exponents, we end up with an x. And we look, 3x can't equal 0, and x plus 5 can't equal 0. So once again, I'm finding the restrictions on my variables. So x can't equal 0. And x can't equal -5. Okay, let's look at one more example. So factor n plus 5 and n plus 2. This is our simple ABC. That's where I'm getting these factors from. N plus 5 and n minus 3. So the n plus 5s will cancel. We're left with n plus 2 over n minus 3. And those won't simplify because they're not the same binomials. Now to find my restrictions, n plus 5 can't equal 0, and n minus 3 can't equal 0. So n can't equal -5, and n can't equal 3. So those are the restrictions for a simplified expression.